European people that are over there claiming to be the Jews. But what it really, it's the same thing. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but of principalities and powers in high places. It's wicked ideas that have progressed through man, and there's certain kingdoms that have upheld these ways that are disruptive to the natural ways of unity and harmony that we recognize just on a daily life. That's what we fight against. So I'm not going to say it's some physical man even. It's like the Pope himself isn't the devil himself, but he does represent the devil on earth. He's the only man in all of man that stands on a pinnacle and states that he is the representative of God to all men. Like there's no other institution that sits there and proclaims that all churches must come back to the Roman Catholic Church. All kingdoms must bow to the Pope. There's his throne represents the devil's mockery of Yahweh's kingdom on earth, and it's continued by these wicked ideas and twisted doctrines that rule the minds of men, and that's what enacts these men to take on certain states of mind, to enact certain wicked, evil things in the idea of what they're doing may be righteous in their eyes. That's what we fight against. And the way we can actually fight against that is with truth and by making fellow men aware of the things around them. So that's how I see it.
It's like, who's the most famous person in the world? Like, who's the most powerful, prominent, famous person in the world? Like,
The Pope,
The most famous
is
person
it
that ever
Madonna?
existed is Jesus
Jesus.
Christ. Jesus
Is
Christ,
it
the most
Madonna?
famous
Is it
person
Jesus
ever.
Christ? But I'm saying
No,
right
it's
now,
clearly
dude, right
Jesus.
now.
It's clearly Jesus right now. Because
Well,
if you want to
besides
say
Jesus,
all the Muslims, even though they don't believe Jesus is the Son of God or whatever, still know who he is. All the Jews know who Jesus is because they hate him. All the Christians know who Jesus is because that's their God. Almost every atheist comes from a Christian background, like a nation that used to be Christian as now atheist. So all the atheists know who Jesus is. I would venture to say, even in countries like India and China and shit, even they know who he is. He's definitely the most famous person to have ever lived, hands down.
And what does that mean exactly?
That mean, what do you mean? It was very clear, my statement.
it's just,
What do
I'm
you
just
mean the most
wondering,
famous? How does that tie into what we're talking about? World domination and
He asked, he
Bible.
asked, he asked a question. He asked a question. Who's the most famous person ever? And I just gave a very clear and direct response to that. So to directly answering the question, given to the DC.
Oh yeah, that's cool, Noah. So what do you mean? So what about it, Lion? Okay. So what about it?
nothing like
I would
power and fame, right? Power, fame, legacy, these things that humans seek, that can be given to us. And some of these world leaders, they have power and fame. And I was wondering, who's the most powerful man on the earth, or the most famous man on the earth?
the Pope.
Is it Netanyahu? Is he the most powerful man? I doubt it. I doubt the Pope is.
He's
There's
not
probably somebody
powerful.
stronger and more powerful than him.
Bro, the Pope is the only one who can go into every war zone, regardless of the side, and not be killed. I mean, recognize that the Pope could go to, and like all through time, the Pope has been able to go to every war zone, every country that's at war. Let's say the country is fighting against the U.S., he can go there. The U.S. has a thing against that country, he can go to the U.S. Like he's the only one that can go to every side of every war.
I would say I agree
Didn't
with
a
Noah that
Turkish
Jesus
guy
is.
try to kill him a few years back? And why does he travel in the Pope mobile that's bulletproof with all that protection?
Because the people don't like him, but the world leaders allow him because they know who they bow to.
Dude, there's a billion people who like him. It's called the Catholic Church. So and that's even wrong.
A billion people don't make all people, so there are people who don't like him.
The mass majority of people either like him or don't care. The haters are basically only Protestants and people
Yo,
practicing.
Noah, you like
What?
the Pope,
True.
dude? Don't tell me. You're turning Catholic, dude?
Yo, you know
Well,
what's
Isn't Trump more
No,
popular
I'm
than
just
the Pope?
I'm just stating the facts. The guy said something incorrect. I'm just trying to keep this
No, I'm just
conversation
wondering. I don't
factual.
know, dude. I thought maybe you're turning Catholic on me. It's all good. You are.
That's
You
what I
are.
You
was
Right.
caught
gonna.
him, Lion. You caught him. Noah is a
That's what I was
Pope
gonna say,
lover.
Bear. That's what I was gonna say, paraplegic. 100% Trump is the most famous, most popular person alive today. Although Jesus is the most famous, most popular person in history.
But Trump's
Yeah,
pretty
so
powerful, dude. But
what
I don't think
what
he's
Yahweh
as powerful as the Pope.
Yeah, but Trump's got like all this Masonic fucking symbolism all in his come up even till now, dude. It just seems like he's like if Trump is supposed to be, like the king of North America, let's say, he's the king of North America. He's definitely answering to other people, bro. Or why else would he be doing all this Masonic, Kabbalistic shit, symbolism, and all this stuff?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm just saying you can literally go anywhere in the world to some like shanty town in India in the middle of nowhere, and they're gonna know who Trump is, and they wouldn't know who the Pope is.
Yeah, so Trump's the king of North America. Wow, that's crazy. And he's claiming Canada and Mexico. He's calling it the Gulf of America. Dude, Trump is the king of North
Yo,
America.
Lion, I actually got a picture for you. I gotta put this down here. I'm gonna tag you in live stream, but you gotta see these world regions. This is what people speculate the 10. Do you see this? Do you see region number 1?
What?
The plans from the
Yeah.
Council of Rome.
Yeah, the count. What's it called? The 10
Council of
kingdoms
Rome.
or whatever these people
Yep.
people are saying, like the 10 kingdoms or whatever at the end of time. This is what it's gonna be. Do you see the picture lines?
Yeah. Yep. Continents.
Okay, now do you see that Donald Trump actually was negotiating purchasing Greenland and keeps
Exactly.
alluding to making Canada the 51st state or whatever? And
Wow.
he does act quite a bit like a king, right? Can you
Yeah.
imagine that his presidency if he said, actually, instead of the presidency ending and we're getting a new president, I'm king now. And if you look at this map, dude, there's 5 is Russia, so Putin would be their king. 10 is China, so obviously that's Xi Jinping would be their king. I mean, this, I don't know. I find this very interesting split up that they've done with the 10 parts of the earth.
The
And I'd like to
Council
see it.
of Rome.
There's no there's no Antarctica anywhere on this map. There's not a single Antarctic place.
But there's a lot of talk about
Antarctica.
absorbing Canada and possibly Mexico in the near future.
That ain't gonna happen.
And the way you'll find out if that's even a true likelihood is if Trump actually attends the inauguration on the 20th. There's a whole idea, a rumor that's spreading around because JD Vance has been posting tweets or X comments that, oh, should I go to this ball game or should I go to the inauguration? Will people see me there and all this stuff? And because supposedly, if he forfeits the inauguration, being the selected president, then the military takes control of the government, and then the real election or the election date that was in the republic would be like March 4th or something like that. And so the military would be in control until March 4th while the America goes back to republic, becoming an empire, allowing it to absorb those nations and become a kingdom. Yep.
Dang, dude, I'm gonna be there. I think the dude's like a Jesuit or, Kabbalah practitioner, but I live close, so I'm gonna be there, man. Let's see what happens.
What we got now? 5 days.
Buckle
Yeah,
up.
What's that, Matt?
So
Go
you
ahead,
have
bro.
a president that's gonna come in that already started 4 or 5 fires. Ingenious, man. Freaking ingenious.
Yo, to what Yahweh was King was saying about like the Pope's allowed everywhere. That almost reminds me of like a referee can sit like on either side of the team's bench. You know what I mean? Like that seems like that would mean that person's the orchestrator.
That's wild, bro. That's
Well,
kind of
that's
true.
the funny thing. The 10 Kingdoms plan was initiated by the Council of Rome. Rome continued through all these years through the Roman Catholic Church. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, the funny thing was when JFK was president, it was it was what, like 80% of all senators and congressmen were Roman Catholics. And it was going to be the first Roman Catholic president. And the whole idea was that that's when they were going to be able to control America and do all this early on. So it's quite interesting that all this starts happening after the first Roman Catholic president we've had since JFK, which was Biden. And then Trump, yes, Trump attended was it a Jesuit boys' school, and he's the one who selected Fauci to be a representative of the thing. And Fauci was a Jesuit who and I think everybody knows the Jesuit decree or whatever to pledge allegiance to the Pope, regardless of what you proclaim yourself to be. But yeah,
Yep.
it's quite interesting.
To the Protestants, be a Protestant. To the liberals, be a liberal. Something like that. So I would say he
Yep.
fits those descriptions, dude. And he says a lot of stuff that everybody likes. I was a fan of the dude before.
Did you guys ever hear the joke? You guys ever hear the joke with the Pope? Friggin' hilarious with Dave. You guys never heard that one?
What is it?
Is it joke time? You guys want to hear
Lay
a
him
joke?
down.
All right, there's this guy at work. This guy Dave, right? He claims he knows everyone. He's like, I know everyone. You know what I'm saying? Everyone knows me. I know everyone. So the boss at work is like, bullshit. So they go to they fly to Tom Cruise's house, and you know, Dave knocks on the door, and he answers the door. Tom Cruise is hugging him. He's like, Dave, haven't seen you in so long. How's it going? And he's like, no way, man. So they go to the White House. You know, president lets him in. He's hugging him. You know, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a minute. And the boss is like, no friggin' way. They fly to Rome and go to the wherever the Pope lives, right? Vatican or whatever. And there's a whole bunch of people outside. Dave's like, wait out here because, you know, it's the Pope. They don't let a lot of people at him. He goes up there. He's on the balcony with the Pope, right? And Dave's boss goes to some guy next to him. He's like, you know that guy on the balcony? And the guy next to him is like, he goes, yeah, but who is that with Dave? That was the
That's
whole
pretty
thing.
great. That's pretty great. I like that.
New Perspective knows the Pope. That's cool.
We about to do 6 hours on Coriolis, or what's the topic?
I'm not touching Coriolis at it has to be at least 8 hours. So how about it? Has Trump lost his mind, or what's with all the threats?
No, there's something weird going on, man. I feel like this pressure, and I don't know where this pressure is coming from. This motivation to like start this one world government, this new world order, and why like the eagerness to get this accomplished. It's out in the open now.
No, but what's
Doesn't
with
that make
the
no longer
Canada and the Panama Canal, Greenland? What's going on?
I think he's just playing his role. He's doing exactly what he was designed to do in exactly the time. I think it's all off script, and he's doing his part. I think it does have to do with the Club of Rome, and yeah, basically dividing the world up into 10 smaller kingdoms so that they can be more easily brought into one. I think it's gonna happen.
Dude, it's easy, dude. Look at these 10 kingdoms are set up so perfectly. So kingdom number 1, America, Greenland, and fucking Canada. That's King Trump. Region number 2, Europe. I don't know, whoever, probably King Charles or whoever's in charge of Germany. Either Britain or Germany will get the run of that region. Region number 3, Japan. Japan has their own king. Region 4, Australia and South Africa and New Zealand, they're all kind of one unified people, one nation, really. So it really makes sense.
Wow.
Number 5, Eastern Europe and Russia. That's Putin, obviously. They're kind of one nation. 6, Central and South America. That also makes sense. 7, North Africa and the Middle East. 8, Central Africa. 9, India and Southeast Asia. That all makes sense. India would probably be the powerhouse of that one. And then number 10, China, and China already has their king set up. So like really it actually kind of this 10 like these are kind of like 10 bona fide nations
All right, but
really.
hold
Like
on.
there's like a race of people for each of these 10 regions. You know what I mean? Like it's I don't
No, yeah, and I can see that happening, and also that's why like there's gonna be certain nations that they're gonna be delegated certain responsibilities, right? So if you got 10 nations or 10 sectors, each nation is gonna be responsible for a specific sector of the whole collective. And China is gonna be like the the manufacturing.
What I got a real crazy one. I was going through the new, oh fucking goodness, dude, guys. I was going through the news feed just now, and there's a crazy ass article that just came out. DJI just took off their geo fencing on their drones, where anybody can fly in the no-fly zones, because it wasn't the FAA that limited it. It was DJI itself. It had a coding in the app that prevents you from flying near airports, the White House, and all that. And just an hour ago, they just put out that they just took off the geofencing on all their drone infrastructure, making it to where anybody in the U.S. right now that has a DJI drone can go fly over the White House, can fly over military bases, over airports, and all that. That's crazy.
But yo, I was gonna say, so where's the head though of the collective? You got 10 nations. Where's the head at?
Oh, well, I'm gonna be honest, dude. I don't think that we're gonna have this sort of 10 nation super 10 nation thing or whatever without some sort of alien hoax, honestly. Like, I really do think that they're really pulling on the alien hoax hard, and that's gonna be oh, here he comes, the fucking alien. And look, Netanyahu shook his hand, and the Pope shook his hand, and this alien says there's 10 nations on Earth that need to unify and work. Like, I really see the alien thing going far on it.
Dude, absolutely. Like they've been programming us that for a long time. Like I'm sure everybody in this, community has seen the speeches with Ronald Reagan saying, "Perhaps if we had one external force, we would just forget our differences and unite together." And Bill Clinton saying essentially the same thing at one point. Like they've been prepping us for a long time for it, man. And
Hey, you said
Yeah,
that.
I thought they were about to
Can
do
you
it.
just talk like that normally? Can you just talk like that from now on?
say what?
I thought they were about to do it with. I thought they were about to do it with COVID. I thought they were going to push the whole one world order thing. Then
No, they need a bigger threat, and the alien threat is perfect because what those aliens will tell you, we need to, militarize and gather together because there is a bigger, badder alien coming to destroy this place with fire.
Yep.
Yo, I think
Fire.
the pandemic thing was like, in boxing, like at the beginning of the round when like they're not really throwing haymakers at each other, just kind of like throwing jabs and seeing like, oh, that's what that was, bro. That COVID shit was like in the beginning of boxing when both guys are just kind of throwing their jabs and sizing each other up. That's what it feels like. And we're just waiting for the next shoe to drop.
That was some bullshit, dude. I hope nothing like that ever happens again. Please don't even say that.
Dude, that felt like the practice run, bro.
I can't
That
believe
felt,
we got out of that, dude.
Jim,
I honestly I was very defeatist. I thought that was the beginning of crazy shit, dude. And then everything just went back to normal, sort of. Not really normal, but better than it
The
was.
new normal. It went back to the new normal.
The Jim Jones cult, those guys that killed themselves. Nobody knows who Jim Jones was.
No, yeah, we know.
Okay, so Jim Jones, you understand before, you understand before the mass suicide that there was it was either 4 or 5 test runs where he said, "Oh, we're all gonna poison ourselves," and what they did is everyone took the drink, drank the purple drink, but it wasn't poison. They're like, "Ah, I got you," and that one was actually like not the first time that. So they did multiple practice runs of mass suicide before they did the real mass suicide, just to even out the kinks and say, "Oh, this guy didn't take it when we tried the." You know what I mean? And that's what it. So that's what it feels like. It was like a test run, like sizing someone up at the beginning of a fight.